All right, Claude released obviously Opus 4.7, but also Claude Design. And this is the first time I actually opened up the Claude Design site, which is available on claude.ai/design. And in this video, I want to actually do a first walkthrough. I haven't played with the UI yet, and yeah, it's maybe interesting also to see how that works from a first person using the product. So here we go. So Claude Design announced as a design tool for building prototypes. As I see, you can obviously switch between wireframes, high fidelity. You can also create slide decks, and you can start from templates, whatever a template is. So it seems that we also, or I can also build time-based motion designs and whatever other means. So for the moment, I don't want to set up a design system. I have to set up, so what I want to do, let's say I recently played around with a project called Terra Atlas, which is actually a gardening layout planner tool. So I'm a passionate gardener, and so I want to, let's say, do a wireframe for that. So I create it, and let's see how that works. So I have this classical approach. On the left, I have the chat, and then on the right, I have a kind of a canvas. So it seems that I can also sketch, which is quite nice. I can also drop files here, and I can add a lot of stuff. I think what I like is that I can already attach a code base, which would allow the AI to get a lot of context about the project. Also, if I already have a pre-created design in Figma, I can obviously link that. But yeah, let's maybe start with a design system. Skills and design system, attach design systems or skills to give Claude additional contexts. Well, basically what I want is I want to... okay, I just changed my mind actually. Actually I want to go back somehow. Is that possible? Yeah, here we go. So actually I want to create an animation. Terra Atlas. Because then I can already use the existing designs, which I kind of already like. And I'd like to add a screenshot of the solution. Just open up my garden here. So this is now my garden. I just add this screenshot as one of the main contexts. So it kind of has an understanding what this app does. So let's drag and drop that here. Also, what's cool about this app is it also has a 3D view, which is kind of neat. So I will also give that as a context. I have really no idea what's going to happen now. So now create a animated video based on this app. I also give the URL. And come up with something cool to show off on Twitter. Why not? So let's see what's going to happen. Okay, it only picked up one screenshot. also use the second screenshot. So interesting. So instead of asking questions in the chat, it opens up a new question tab. What's the core story? Well, I like that magical reveal. I just go through quite quickly here. Let's say 15 seconds. Let's say, yeah, let's keep it clean. Let's make it English. What should the 3D scene show? Trees. Should the app, can I actually multi-select? Okay, that's also nice. Show the app UI, yes. Slow orbit around the property, also cool. Accent color. How should it end? Camera, what would you like to tweak after I build? Oh, why not? And then I can do continue. So it kind of asked me through this UI, which is obviously a bit more, it's a bit easier to answer instead of doing that in the chat. So I like that. And it kind of used that brief to obviously collect more context. And now it comes up with the story arc, very interesting. So obviously it kind of runs a skill behind the scenes, which then makes up all the additional context. And then it's using some animations to basically create the animations, and also in the end, obviously the video. I would assume that in the end there will be a video. And now it's creating the components. I'm actually not sure if it's now creating, I can look at it. So it's kind of creating a 3D scene. Maybe it tries to recreate the screenshot I sent. Well, if I would do that for real, obviously I would add much more context about the product and what the functionality is. So, okay, I can see the code as well here. Yeah, I like this way. It almost feels like a project. So I started with a project. I have design files here. I can add additional context with sketches. Can paste stuff, and it collects that in this kind of project folder structure, which I kind of like. Seems that it's quite slow. I mean, okay, it's doing a lot of stuff in the background, but yeah, it takes a while. I can also, just with voice input, attach additional stuff. I can then also switch the model if I don't want to burn too much tokens. Curious why there are like multiple tabs. I assume I can then see a tab like production, or as before, like this little service. For the moment, I think it's quite a logical build. What is this plus? I can add a new chat. uploads. Okay, so now we created the page. I can open it up. And now I already see. Oh, all right. It's a bit off. Yeah, okay. I can see the idea here. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is exactly what I want. So I kind of recreated the UI ad hoc and then also tried to build this 3D. Obviously, this had nothing to do with the actual app, but I see where this is going. Then I can edit. Okay, I can edit text tweaks. I don't know what this means. Comment. Okay. So I can give a comment. So perspective is off here. Let's see if it understands. So it immediately sends it, and of course, because I was on that specific frame and gave it on a very explicit position, it has much more context. So it seems that it took an image and can now understand what I was trying to say. So perspective isn't set on the parent container, so we can now prove that. That's a very, very nice feature. I can also go to full screen. Okay. I can also draw. Okay. All right. So now I say, okay, I get a preview here. Oh, now it's even more off. Okay. All right. So yeah, no, okay, this is not what I was hoping for, but it's also recreating images, screenshots to potentially self-correct. Yeah, okay, I see. But it's actually quite nice. But now I want to also export it as a video. So maybe, okay, let's stop that. I like that. Export as MP4. Let's see if that works. I don't know what tweaks means. How can I export that? No, here also not. You can render each frame as PNG sequence, easiest path screen recording. Okay. So it does not automatically support that. As I understand, I can download the file locally and then I'm able to move that to. Okay, so this is now the HTML. No. But it's only a screenshot. Okay. For me, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, what's the purpose of actually creating an animation if I'm not able to use as a video? So it was clearly kind of confused here by creating multiple images. Okay, but I see the concept. So within roughly 15 minutes, I could create an animated scene. So that's quite powerful already. There are also examples. All right, very interesting. Let's quickly try out a slide deck, Terra Atlas. Create a slide deck based on, I simply paste the landing page. And let's see what happens. I also heard that the tokens are burned very quickly because, yeah, it's token intensive, but I'm already made some stuff. Okay, so it asks me about audience. Yeah, let's do general pitch. Okay, 6 slides. Let's keep it English. Warm, earthy, garden inspired. I like that. Product features. No, why not? Let's see what it comes up. Want variations of key slides. Color direction, deep garden colors. All right. Or let's say decide for me. I like this question and answer concept. So this is very easy for me as a user to decide, and also for the AI to take on and get the context. As I understand, it's now accessing the site and is kind of downloading the resources to reuse. I like that. And now I already got the concept of the folders assets, so I can easily throw in additional context or higher high-res assets, so we can pick that instead of downloading the assets from the website. Yeah, it's quite slow, but let's see what it will come up. Yeah, so it's downloading additional resources. Let's try the audio feature just to demo it. So I need to allow. Also add a final screen with a call to action to actually sign up on the website. Okay, I just send it. Let's see how that works. And now we created the first file, deck stage. It's also React based. Maybe not. Web component based. So yeah, quite a large file, 600 lines of code. But you can clearly see it's built on top of a template, which makes sense. So it has not to reinvent the same style again, in that sense. I'm actually curious how it works to edit slides, because in the past I also created the slides tool myself, and the editing is always the big question. So there are several ways to do that, and I'm curious how that works. So I'm wondering if I'm able to share that project. Oh, now I'm kind of lost. Which one is my presentation? Your designs, examples. Okay, let's pick that. Oh. Retry. It seems that it picked up my call to action wish. Yeah, I kind of like this story arc as well. It extended it a bit now to 12 slides. And now it's finally writing the HTML file. It's interesting how the Claude Design tool is simply leveraging HTML, CSS, and JavaScript here. So the output seems to be impressive if you look at the end result, the presentation in full screen, or the animation in full screen. But if you look closely at what it is in behind the scenes, it's simply JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, which is interesting. So there is no, let's say, file format you have to understand, or yeah, something like this. So if you ever had to work with a Microsoft Word file or PDF, so it's not the same, or it's not so approachable as plain open web technologies. So it's seems to be an interesting design decision they did from a technical perspective, but it's also very obvious that they want to do that because I think the LLM, and especially the Opus model series, is optimized to create code, and potentially HTML documents is the most structured or most available code out there, so we can train quite a bit on that. Even though this code is a little bit strange. I mean, it's not strange, but I would never do that in a production. So, finished. Wow, nice. So I can even, on the fly, select that. Okay, this is the tweaks. I see. I have different options. That's so cute. Okay, so I go with the moss. Let's leave it away. A planner for resilient gardens, Terra Atlas. Map your plot, place your plants, and watch the whole season come together in one quiet plan. Oh, here is a visual error. Maybe I switch to this one. And then, okay, welcome everyone, blah, blah, blah. That's nice. A planner for a resilient garden built with permaculture in mind. Core features, map, plants, season, public. Garden layout drawn on top of the map. That's actually quite cool. Plants and rows placed with care. Seasonal work always in view. Also very interesting. Public gardens quietly shared. From a balcony of 6 pots to a multi-hectare plots. balcony. Wow, a living library of plants. And then it picked up the numbers. And then create an account. That's amazing. Now I'm a big fan of that. All right, so I can actually use this presentation to create some content. Interesting. So now it seems to do some verification as well. I'm also wondering if it's possible to export as PDF, which I would maybe want. Or how is the idea? I can share. Now export as PDF. I see. All right, export as PDF. Let's see what the output is. Maybe I was missing the share before. Okay. There's also a share for this animation. So I can simply download this as zip. I can export as a PDF. An animation as PDF doesn't really make sense. Export a standalone HTML, that actually makes sense. Hand off to Claude Code is also interesting. So I can start with something here and then hand it off to Claude Code to actually implement on my final product. Very interesting. So yeah, what I was curious about is if I want to work with a coworker, teammates can comment. Teammates can edit. So basically now I can also add comments here. Make it 2 words. I get the concept. Also, I can pick the element and then I have this visual. All right. That's nice. Actually, that's quite nice. How can I go up of this out of this mode? Okay, this way. Edit. So if I want to change the text here, can I make that bold? Maybe I'm only able to edit one, the whole paragraph, make it bold. Yeah, okay, I cannot change a single word, which is a bit sad. But I know why, because it's not so easy to do. All right. Okay, so I want to export it as PDF. It did not work. Here. Save design as PDF. It's then in the design assets maybe. No. How does that work? Save this design as PDF. It's actually agentified. So basically, I would assume that it's now loading a sandbox which renders the page, which then actually creates the PDF based on that asset. Interesting. But now, okay. It triggers me to the save as PDF. I mean, okay, you can do that. Why not? So I save that. And now let me quickly close that. And then I have here the presentation, which looks quite decent. Okay, there is a bit of an error. But yeah, okay. All right, so that was an interesting first tour. I'm definitely gonna use it more in the future. Curious how I could leverage the templates and the examples and also work with design systems. But hey, that was quite interesting. So within less than half an hour, we created a animation and a slide deck, which looks good. Yeah, well done, Claude team. And if you like content like this, yeah, you may want to subscribe to Claude Design. I will do much more AI related videos. And until then, see you in the next one. Bye bye.